Well, let's take a look at the longest lived cultures. And if you look at those longest lived cultures around the world, what do we mean by the longest lived cultures? Well, the Centenarian cultures, they have the longest lifespans, they have the lowest rates of disease and the lowest rates of hospitalization. So it's really interesting when you start to look at where they are. You know, you've got places like Okinawa, Loma Linda, Abkhazia in Russia, Longevity Village, Bapan, China, Costa Rica, Sardinia, Hansa, Ikaria, Nagano in Japan, of course, Vilcabamba. So you've got these 10 different areas around the world where these people live much longer, healthier lives than we do. You know, we often are sick in our 40s on high blood pressure medication, whereas these people are on no medication in their 90s and 100s. And they're in better shape at 100 than we are at 70. So it's phenomenal when you really look at what we can actually achieve. And one of the interesting things when you look around what they do is they eat a plant-based whole food diet. They eat 80% carbohydrates. So this whole thing about, you know, lots of animal fat, lots of animal protein, low carbohydrates, carbs are bad, is completely untrue if you want to live a long, healthy life free of drugs and disease. That's what I'm most interested in. So when you're looking at a long, healthy life in these cultures, they eat a plant-based diet. They eat fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains and legumes, and very little else. Occasionally, if they do have some meat, it might be a treat. But you know, when we look at what they're eating overall, that they will regularly fast as well. But what they're eating, they eat less than 5 kilograms of meat each a year. We're at about 130 kilograms each, right here in New Zealand and a lot of Western countries. So it's 130 kilograms of no fiber meat, and fiber, of course, runs your digestive system, versus 5 kilos as a special treat. So they're basically eating a plant-based whole food diet. And beans or tofu are a cornerstone of every one of the diets. So they get up every morning and they go, what legumes shall we eat today? Whereas actually we get up every day and go, what meat should we eat every day? So it's quite different. So you notice now on your screen as well, let's have a look at the Okinawan studies. And this is from the longest lived culture in history. The Okinawans, when they were studied, typical daily diet of the Okinawans in 1949, you'll see it was 97% kumara, vegetables, sprouted brown rice, tofu, legumes, fruits, nuts and seeds, 3% fish, meat and poultry, 0% dairy products, and about 1,900 calories a day, so far less than what we're eating. And they're eating about 8 times more tofu and soybean products than we are, and they live long, healthy lives free of drugs and disease. Never in the history of nutrition research has the evidence been more clear and consistent. A whole food, carbohydrate, low calorie, plant-based diet is the best for long-term health. There's no doubt about it anymore, despite what you might have read in books advocating low carb, high animal protein diets. So really interesting when you start to look at that kind of research. So we get the longest lived cultures eating a plant-based whole food diet, making smart lifestyle choices and regularly fasting, and we see the science says the same thing. And you'll find this in my books and my material. It's exactly that same evidence.